A few weeks ago, I had a missed call from a former student. This kid's 15, maybe 16 years old. And soon after the missed call, he texted me. And the text included this sentence: "Mr. Scott, I'm going through one of the roughest times in my life." So I called him right back. When I asked him what happened, he told me about an experience he had that day where he failed. He labeled it as the biggest failure of his life at that point. And word was getting around his community about it. He felt embarrassed, alone, and disappointed in himself. He felt like he let people down. And this failure was in an area that he considers a big part of who he is, big part of his identity. I mean, how many of us adults to this day really try to avoid facing that kind of a failure, right? That has people question us, that has us question ourselves. So anyway, I asked him some questions. And he just expressed what he was feeling, what he was thinking, situation. And after there was pretty much nothing left for him to say, I asked him this big question. I said, "Who are you?" Kid took a deep breath. And then he just let loose. I care about people. I express myself. I want people to feel good, and I want people to be happy. I love people, and I love my life. I work hard, and I don't accept defeat. I said, "Who else?" And he went on a little bit longer. And then I kind of did this measurement. And I was like, all right, he's ready for this. I said, "Look, I know when we're feeling down, it doesn't help to hear this." I said, "But you know who you are, and you don't accept defeat. I think that this failure today was a good thing, because it's going to teach you how to stand more firmly on solid ground. It's going to remind you of who you are, and that though you're experiencing a failure right now, this is not a long-term defeat, because you know who you are for yourself, and you know who you are for other people." See, so many of us, when we're faced with these failures, we're wrapped up in what things mean about us. But when we can get back in touch with not only who we know ourselves to be, but who we know ourselves to be for others, well, then nothing can stop us from having that type of a positive impact that we want to have on others. So this kid jumped in without hesitation. And how many of us adults can do the same? How many of us can create such powerful declarations, even in the face of defeat, uncertainty, and disappointment? So, this kid has a lot of love to give the world. And we adults have a lot of love to give the world too. And there's just certain barriers that we've got between us and expressing who we are for others and who we are for the planet. My mission is to help people remove those barriers and to build an education system where students learn that those barriers are mostly illusory, they're imaginary. And despite the failures and defeat we might sometimes feel, we can get back up on our feet again and still express that unique expression of who we are for ourselves, for others, and for the planet. Thanks so much for watching.